Hello Scrapbookers, it's Katie Scott and I'm here with a layout that I'm making for the Get It Scrapped creative team, and I just wanted to, I put a little bit of this together, but I just wanted to show you sort of what my thought process was. So the assignment was inspired by collage. Make a page inspired by the technique of collage. And so I think Debbie Hodge has some Pinterest boards that are collage, that basically like they're photos that are cut out like this. So remember, that was like kind of a no-no in the olden days of, or it was trendy in the olden days of scrapbooking, and then it's been kind of like, you know, and I think the digital folks can do it so much better than paper, but I did cut this out with these scissors, and let me just find another one. I've also got Barbie, which she might be kind of fun to cut out, but I'm not gonna. She's even holding a microphone, and the subject of this page is the mixtape, but I'm not gonna translate that to Barbie. I'm just gonna stick with photos of my daughter, and this is just a storage binder that I have, and these photos, I've scrapbooked them a lot because it's not always that my daughter is really into doing poses for me, but here she is, and she's her favorite song is Like a Prayer, and it's from a mixtape that I have, and so she's doing the Like a Prayer pose, like, you know, Madonna. So she did some yeah, we've got like a Prayer, and I've scrapbooked these photos before, but I've never really like cut them out before, and so I just want to show you a couple ways to do that, and also just the concept for the page. So the concept, the way that I got the idea for this page was I drove the kids to school this morning, and I heard American Pie, and I know all the words to American Pie by Don McLean. And then I heard, right after that, they played Bad, Bad Leroy Brown. And he's bad, bad Leroy Brown. And that, you know, he's got a razor in his shoe. And I know all of those words, which, like, you know, I don't really think about Leroy Brown. But, you know, I know all about Leroy Brown. And I don't think I can ever, like, I just think I know those words forever. So it made me think of mixtapes, and there's this line, I think it's Webster's Pages, and it's Allison Kraft, I think her name is, and so I wanted to kind of play on that idea of mixtape, and also do it in a collage kind of way, because I'm going to show you this. This is a love letter. When I was in high school, the boyfriend that I had when I went off to college, I was you know, dated him from high school, my senior year of high school, until like my junior year of college. So but we were long distance, so there was a lot of letters, and he would make me. He worked at his radio. He went to Northeastern University in Boston, and I went down here to Eckerd College, and so he would make me mixtapes, and then he would also like just make silly postcards, and so I don't know where he got this, but it's like, it looks like my dad. It's not my dad, but he made it into like How I Spent the Summer by Bob Fenderson, and then he like, you know, put a little caption, and then he even like, these are pictures, silly pictures of us because we were silly kids, from the prom, that he did this, like, you know, the high school boyfriend did this, and so I just wanted to kind of do that sort of thing, and I'm not going to use a photo background, but I think that could also be fun to kind of create your own, you know, put yourself in front of the Eiffel Tower or whatever you want to do. So that was kind of the inspiration for this page. I'm not going to use, and these are actually magazines, and this is, you know, there you go with the acid-free out the window, because all of these colors are still vibrant, and he just used regular Scotch tape and put it in the mail, and it still looks good. So that I was actually going to use this on my page, but I kind of just like this as it is, and I don't think my husband would think it was too cool if I started scrapbooking all my old boyfriend love letters. But I did want to show you, that was sort of my inspiration. I have so many mixtapes. Like, he used to make the mixtapes, and then he would make not only the mixtape, but like we would make the cover of the mixtape. So I don't know if you remember that, but if you're from the 70s or 80s, you probably do. And so that was like hearing those songs on the radio and just thinking about like, you know, there's these songs that you just know like by heart. Like most of anything that Paul Simon sings, I would say I know by heart. Most of the Elton John songs. And I'm really not like I really like pop music. So I listen to, you know, Lady Gaga and like Imagine Dragons or whatever's, you know, popular today. Like I like that band Fun. I like what's on Top 40 radio for the most part. But occasionally, and my husband, who's a little bit older than I am, he's really into like 70s rock, which kind of makes, do we really? Like, do we really need to hear the Eagles again? And he also plays in a band, and they play all those songs over and over again. So it's a little like, and he likes jazz and blues, and just not my kind of cup of tea. And so I just thought it was funny that when driving to school this morning, and I sang those two songs out loud, and the kids are like, I thought this was like, and Dad's music. Like, you don't listen to Dad's music. But, you know, sometimes I do. But, if you want to go back to the 70s or 80s, like, I liked Madonna, and I like, Cyndi Lauper, and then I even went through, like, a punk rock phase, where I listened to the Ramones and the Clash, but and so anyways, when I had this, and that boyfriend that made that card was the one that kind of introduced me to punk rock music, and I really, I still love punk rock music, but not probably, I don't like the I'm sad, I don't know. I like, what I mainly like in music is a fast beat. I like to, keep it snappy. But, and punk rock accomplishes that a lot of the time. But there's a few songs that, like, American Pie, or I guess Bad Bad Leroy Brown is kind of a faster song. I'm going off on a way tangent, right? You thought this was going to be about scrapbooking. You're like, hey, wait a minute. But I just, I like to kind of talk through my process. And I find that when I'm really excited about an idea or a concept, that's when I feel like scrapbooking. So I'm actually turning this assignment in late because I just was not, I just didn't have an inspiration for it until I put all those pieces together. And so that's kind of where it's good to have, I think sometimes it's good to just create on demand, but other times it's really good to just really wait until you are feeling inspired. So that's probably going to go there. This is probably going to go here. I'm going to put mixtape there. I'm not going to talk through the whole thing, but I just wanted to give you a little peek into the process. I'm going to write mixtape here. I might do some computer journaling and kind of put it over here, and then I always joke, to make Debbie Hodge happy, I'll throw some brads on it, or in like enamel dots or that sort of thing. But usually if I can get to this place in my scrapbooking process is more about I'm excited in my brain about the page rather than I'm excited about what the page is. So just to make the page, I used a 6x6 pad of paper. I cut them into 3x3s, then I stitched it. I put it on a darker colored background paper. It's a Heidi Swap paper. It's a black grid, and that just kind of reminded me of vinyl. So that's why I chose that. And then I've got these photos that I will use sort of like that. But at this point in the scrapbook process, I feel like I know the page isn't done, but in my brain I've gotten to the place where I'm happy. I've accomplished a a whole concept. So I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but that's my kind of story behind this page. And so you can see this page, the finished page, over at the Get It Scrapped blog, as well as lots of other scrapbookers who have contributed to the article about scrapbook pages inspired by collage. So there you go. Thanks for watching. I'm Katie Scott, and my blog is Kiss and Tell Scrapbooking.